If you know, you know. And we all know that the media been trying to promote Vasyl Lomachenko as pound for pound #1 for the longest. However, Vasyl Lomachenko been claiming that Terence Crawford is pound for pound #1, and he haven't earned that spot yet. But Vasyl Lomachenko had a change of heart, and he came out and stated that he believes that he's pound for pound #1 now. He believes that Terence is #2 and Canelo Alvarez is #3. Now, I don't have no problem of Vasyl Lomachenko thinking that he's #1 pound for pound, because as a fighter, you're supposed to feel that way. But statistically speaking, he definitely not #1. That spot belongs to Terence Crawford. I mean, what changed from his previous fight till now for him to believe that he's pound for pound #1? Because he beat a Corolla? Keep in mind, Corolla, it was a fighter who's not even ranked on the top 10 at the lightweight division. And to make matter worse, Corolla, 3 fights before fighting Lomachenko, he lost 2 fights, not just 1, but 2 fights back-to-back to Linares. Couple fights before that, he had a DQ. Another fight before that, he had another DQ. So how is Lomachenko justifying the fact that he believes that he's #1 pound for pound now because he beat a Corolla? Who did he beat for him to feel that way? I mean, when he moved up to the lightweight division and became a champion, he still claimed Terence Crawford was #1 pound for pound. So what did Lomachenko do, or who did he beat for him to feel like he's the #1 pound for pound now? Unless the old media is getting to him. Obviously, the media been trying to promote Lomachenko as #1 pound for pound ever since he was like 7-0, when he just lost to Salido. And if you watch that fight, Salido schooled him from round 1. He took Vasyl Lomachenko to the Mexican school of boxing. And Lomachenko admitted that loss. He admitted his defeat, but he never gave Salido a shot. And keep in mind, it was a washed up version of Salido, a version that 2 years prior to that, Mikey Garcia washed Salido. A couple years even before that, they claimed Gamboa beat a washed up version of Salido. A decade before that, he was fighting the likes of Marquez at 126. Yes, Marquez that knocked out Manny Pacquiao. He was fighting the likes of Robert the Ghost Guerrero. Yes, the same guy that fought Floyd Mayweather at 147. Salido lost to these guys a decade ago, so y'all know how far back that goes. So Salido was already a washed up version of himself, and Lomachenko turned down the rematch. Why? Because Salido wanted more money. Well, give the guy more money. Y'all trying to lowball Salido like y'all lowball rigondeaux and made him move up 2-weight divisions to fight y'all at 130 when he was calling y'all out to fight y'all at 126 and only gave him $400K? Salido wasn't going to have it. He already beat you. So if you want to avenge that loss, pay him the money he deserved. So Lomachenko didn't want that smoke at all and turned down that fight and claimed that he don't need a Salido, even though that's the only guy that beat you on your record as a pro. So you telling me this talent that they claimed since he had 7 fights only, that he's the greatest since Muhammad Ali, can't beat a Salido, a washed up version of Salido, and they try to act like that loss never took place. Fast forward, he turned down a Pacquiao fight where Manny Pacquiao really wanted that fight, prior to Manny Pacquiao fighting Matisse, prior to Manny Pacquiao fighting Broner, prior to Manny Pacquiao beating Keith Thurman. And Vasyl Lomachenko turned down that fight claiming he don't want to make his name by retiring a legend like Manny Pacquiao. Trust me, buddy, you was not going to retire Manny Pacquiao, because we just saw what Manny Pacquiao did to Keith Thurman, a welterweight. I promise you, a lot of people don't see Lomachenko moving up to 147 and beating a Keith Thurman at welterweight. So you wasn't going to retire Manny Pacquiao. You just ducked the Manny Pacquiao action. And Manny Pacquiao was really pursuing that fight. And I'm going to inform y'all on a little history lesson for the people that don't know. Bob Arum offered Manny Pacquiao 2 fights at the time, a fight with Terence Crawford and a fight with Vasyl Lomachenko. Manny Pacquiao was really interested and really wanted the fight with Vasyl Lomachenko. However, like I stated, Vasyl Lomachenko turned that fight down because he didn't want no smoke with Manny Pacquiao, because he didn't want to do no catch weight at 137, or I don't know what the reason was, but he claimed that he didn't want to retire Manny Pacquiao. So apparently he didn't want to fight Manny Pacquiao. Then Manny Pacquiao only had one option, which was Terence Crawford. And we know Freddie Roach already came out at that time and stated that they're not interested in Terence Crawford because he's like Floyd Money Mayweather with power. And Pacquiao requested way more money, and Bob Arum couldn't deliver it. And then Manny Pacquiao ended up leaving Bob Arum after he lost to Jeff Horn, where he felt like he got robbed. So I say all that just to point out the fact that if Lomachenko is really this pound-for-pound #1 talent, he should have really beat Salido. No question. And to make matter worse, why would you turn down a fight with Manny Pacquiao where you're the younger fighter? Every advantage is on your side since you in your prime, and Manny Pacquiao is the older guy. So why would you turn down that fight when that's a fight-changing career? If you beat Manny Pacquiao, you the man. And you can become a pay-per-view star. Let alone just an ordinary win. You could become a pay-per-view star while getting paid, etc., etc. And all this is proven. Lomachenko came out on an interview stating that he turned down a Manny Pacquiao fight. And I'm going to put all these videos in the description box below just to prove my point. Everything I'm stating is facts. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody got one. So when people say Vasyl Lomachenko is the greatest since Muhammad Ali, I mean, Bob Arum said the same thing about Floyd Mayweather when he was promoting Floyd. He said the same thing about Manny Pacquiao. At least those guys already accomplished and did things and beat fighters that was legendary for him to be able to even make a statement like that. However, for Vasyl Lomachenko, what did he do, or what did he accomplish for him to state such a thing when he was just coming off a loss to Salido a couple fights prior to that? And Teddy Atlas pointed out the fact that Vasyl Lomachenko is pound-for-pound #1 and told Terence Crawford and Andre Ward to their face that they got to compete with Vasyl Lomachenko, not themselves. And keep in mind, Andre Ward was coming off a Kovalev knockout at the time, where Kovalev was pound-for-pound top 3 in the world. And Terence Crawford, on the other hand, he was coming off becoming the undisputed 140-pound champion, and the first in decades. So it lets you know how biased the media is. It lets you know how old media works. I mean, just the fact that they trying to promote Vasyl Lomachenko as pound-for-pound #1 when he only had a handful of pro fights, didn't even have 10 pro fights. And now, if he's pound-for-pound #1, how did they co-sign him fighting Corolla his previous fight? Corolla is not even a top 10 135-pounder. And during the fight, they were acting like Vasyl Lomachenko was beating on Godzilla. He was supposed to do that to Corolla because Corolla is a nobody. Picture Floyd Mayweather in the peak of his prime fighting a fighter that's not even ranked on the top 10 in his division. Man, they will make a mockery out of him. Max Kellerman interviewing Tyson Fury, and instead of exposing the hypocrisy and the fact that Tyson Fury is fighting 2 bums back-to-back that's not even ranked on the top 50, you know, where Tom Schwartz was ranked number 63 and now Otto is ranked number 48. And in the meantime, he avoiding the competition, the top competition that's calling him out, and using a Deontay Wilder name just to promote these 2 bum fights. And Max Kellerman interviewing him like it's all good and dandy. You know, not calling out Tyson Fury for the BS or the fact that he's fighting 2 bums back-to-back and they trying to make it like he's fighting Godzillas or something. Because at the end of the day, keep in mind, they don't even got highlights of Tyson Fury upcoming opponent, Otto. If you look to the promotion, they just post pictures of him and they talking about he could be the next great thing. They don't even got highlights of his pro fights. Because if they show the highlights, people will know it's a scam. So they try to trick the casual fans, because the hardcore fans already know what time it is. So if Deontay Wilder was in that shoes, fighting a guy that's not even ranked on the top 50, they probably strip him of the belt. They will make a mockery out of him, like I stated time and time again. And that's another video for another day. That video will come soon, exposing Max Kellerman and his hypocrisy. Because if Floyd Mayweather, every time he talks about Floyd Mayweather, he talks about how Floyd Mayweather was a smart fighter where he didn't fight the best and maneuvered, even though Floyd Mayweather got the best resume in boxing almost. And when he talks about Tyson Fury, he never point out the fact that he fighting bums that's not even ranked on the top 50. And why, if you may ask, is because he don't got the complexion for the protection like Tyson Fury does. And that's the same for Lomachenko. Just like when Bob Arum stated that Lomachenko is the talent that we never seen before. You know, Terence Crawford, he's good, but we seen a Terence Crawford before, like Sugar Ray Leonard. However, Lomachenko, we never seen him before. What he really means is he never seen a person with that skin color that could fight like that. Well, Bob Arum, that's what you should have said, not stating that, oh, it's a talent that we never seen. He talking about a certain skin color is what he really meant. Just like where he claimed that Tyson Fury is not better than Crawford, but he getting more promotion because he's like Superman, meaning that he's a big fighter and he's like a white hype and he could fight. And ain't no doubt about it, Lomachenko and Tyson Fury could fight, but don't overrate these guys. Give credit where credit is deserved. You know, once Tyson Fury and Vasyl Lomachenko achieve certain things, give the credit where the credit is due. However, don't say he's this and he's that before he proves it, just like they did with Gennady Golovkin. When Gennady Golovkin was on the come up and fighting unknown fighters, and they put him on a list of the best 25 fighters for the past 25 years, which is absolutely ridiculous. And now they look mad silly for doing so, because Gennady Golovkin couldn't even beat a Canelo Alvarez. Struggle with Jacob, where a lot of people felt like Jacob won the fight. And now he fighting Devyachenko, where he said he's scared of him. So is this the guy y'all stated that he's the best fighter or one of the best fighters for the past 25 years? See how foolish they look? And like I stated, Lomachenko is a good fighter, don't get me wrong, but he is overhyped by the media because they claim he the best since Muhammad Ali. Now they overhyping Lomachenko. Let Lomachenko prove himself. Let Lomachenko beat the likes of Tank Davis, Shakur Stevenson, the guys around his division, you know, for him to claim that he's the #1 pound for pound. Let Lomachenko prove himself before y'all give him more credit than he have earned. And if Lomachenko is such talent, why didn't he fight Terence Crawford when Terence Crawford called him out and stated that he will fight him at a catchweight at 137? If he really the pound for pound king, he should have fought Terence Crawford. The pound for pound is stand for a fighter that moves up in weight and fights the best. So if Lomachenko been fighting at 132 all his career at the amateurs, it's no problem for him to move up 5 pounds and fight Terence Crawford. But we all know what they stated. His team stated they want no smoke with Terence Crawford, and they know he's the #1 pound for pound. So for the people that's not gonna fight for Vasyl Lomachenko, y'all have no say in this subject, because let Lomachenko prove what y'all saying, that if he's really the pound for pound #1 and the best since Muhammad Ali, let him do what Mikey Garcia did and fight a guy like Errol Spence, or even a Terence Crawford, like I stated, when Terence Crawford called him out. But absolutely, he didn't want to do so. So let the man earn the credit instead of giving him credit that he don't deserve just because he got the complexion for the protection. And if he's the goods like y'all like to claim he is, well, he should have fought Salido in a rematch where Salido was already washed and was taking losses back-to-back after at 130 by Martinez, etc., etc. He should have fought Manny Pacquiao, but he didn't want that smoke. So to each your own. So I just want to point that out, and that's why Terence Crawford is the number one pound for pound. Ain't no question about it. And we all know ESPN has an agenda, and Terence Crawford better run from ESPN instead of re-signing with them, because they try to promote Lomachenko on his pay-per-view fights instead of promoting Terence Crawford himself. So like I always say, subscribe below if you're trying to get smarter by the minute. If you're trying to get dumber by the second, don't listen to the old media. And follow Lantoon Boxing for the funniest boxing memes. Follow me at Aki TV and click on the subscribe button below and click on the notification bell to get notified every time we go live. All the links will be in the description box below. And to be continue on the next episode of Aki TV. Peace, and we outie.